Om. 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 साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्. Om Sri Sai Ram. Offering my pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, I, Ramamani, welcome all my dear sisters to the 11th session of Pran Sakha. Today, we have Sister Sarvakala amongst us to share her experiences. Let me introduce her with a small briefing. Sister Sarvakala is very fortunate to have been born in Swami's devotees family. Her journey with Swami began as a Balavika student. Her father was blessed to work as a headmaster at Srimati Ishwaramma High School, Prashantanilayam. Eventually, her family moved to Puttaparthi, and that's when Sarvakala's sister wanted to be his student. She studied at Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Anantapur campus in philosophy. With Swami's permission, Sister Kala pursued PhD in Indian epistemology at the University of Hyderabad. Sister Kala was married to brother Hari Garu and they were blessed with a daughter, Sai Shri. The family recently moved from Tampa to Indianapolis, Indiana in US. Mrs. Sarvakala currently serves as a board member in the Sri Sathya Sai Alumni Foundation of North America. She also serves as a member in some of the other initiatives of Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations. May I now invite Sister Kala to continue the proceedings of the day. Saira.
Sai Ram, everyone. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. He is our Prana Sakha. He is our mother and father and everything to us. Sai Ram, everyone. Thank you all for joining on this Saturday, and some of you are joining in the night. And thank you so much. And then some of us who are here locally, you are joining on Saturday morning, which is very precious for the family and things to do. Thank you so much for that. And first of all, I need to give a disclaimer. I am not much of a speaker. I'm here just to enjoy speaking about Swami and his leelas. So please forgive me if I make any mistakes or if I misspeak anything. Forgive me for that. Sai Ram. So first of all, I would like to give my gratitude to my parents for bringing me into Swami's fold at the age of 3 or 4 years old itself. Like, they were able to go to Swami, and that was back in 1971, 72, that time. And they were introduced to Swami by my grandparents. My grandparents saw Swami at Tirupati once, and then they heard about his leelas and his mahima, and they wanted to go and see Swami. So they went to Puttaparthi. My grandparents went to Puttaparthi, and Swami gave them an interview immediately. I think it was in 69 or something, 1969, and told them that, yes, you are worried about your daughter's health and her children and all that. So don't worry. She is going to come. The whole family is going to come to me whenever she gets sicker, more sick. So then then Swami spoke to my grandfather, and he gave him the darshan of Lord Sri Rama, because my grandfather was a great devotee of Lord Sri Rama. So they had very good darshan, and then they came home and told my parents that you have to go there, and he told us that he is expecting you there. So my father, being a science student, He didn't believe in all these mahimas and all that initially. And so they forgot about the whole conversation. So in 1972, by then my mother got more sick, like, thyroid and those things. And she, at that point, there were no medications, especially in India, for thyroid. So then my mother told, they said that, when they approached the doctors, they said, oh, there is no cure for this except for surgery. And they told them to go to Raivalur, Guntur, and those, big places, which would cost money. And also it's difficult to manage with, three of us or four of us, kids at home. So then my mother said, before going there, why not we go to Puttaparthi and seek Swami's help first? Let's just go and see him. So her intention was really strong that my father said, okay, let's go. And so he had the Dasara holidays because he was a headmaster, as sister mentioned. They went to Puttaparthi, and as soon as they went to Puttaparthi, Swami gave my mother an interview. My father could not join because he didn't know the tradition in Puttaparthi that the spouse can also join. And my mother went into the interview room, and Swami spoke to her, and Swami told her that, yes, I'm waiting for you, Bangaru, and I am going to take care of your health, your family, your children, everything. Don't worry about anything. And then he materialized Vibhuti, put it on her head, and he told and gave it in her mouth and told, from now onwards, you won't have any problem. There is no need of surgery or anything. And he gave her some advices about her spiritual practices and sent her home, and they came with so much of bliss. And then what happened? Then we also fell into the same fold that my mother, and so Swami is God. Like, there was no doubt amongst the children that Swami was not God or anything like that. Immediately, like, we all believed in him. And every day evening we used to have bhajans before dinner, and that's how, like, our initial years started. And then my father got transferred to a different place, and there Swami's Samiti was there, organization was there. And so we became part of that, and we became SSC Balavika students, and it was going very well. And fast forward to 1983 or 1982, there was an opening for headmaster position in Iswarama High School, and so my father applied for that. He said, it is all Swami's grace. If I am able to go there, then it would be really nice. And so he went for the interview, and Swami fondly called him always headmaster. So he never called him by name or anything like that. He always referred to him as headmaster. So, headmaster, you are here. Okay, come and join. And then so Swami gave him the job. But going there to Puttaparthi, moving to Puttaparthi was a journey for my father. I'm speaking spiritually. So he had so many hurdles to get relieved from the Zilla Parishat back in Prakasham district. And going to Puttaparthi, that was a journey for him. And at the end, he gave everything, surrendered everything to Swami and said, Swami, you are the only one who can take care of this. And lo and behold, the next day, the secretary of the Zilla Parishad said, yes, I am relieving you, Subarao, please, you can go to Puttaparthi. And then he did the documentation and all that he finished and then sent it. And so we were able to go to Puttaparthi 1983 January, and I was in my 10th grade. So I had the fortune to finish my 10th class in Iswarama High School by Swami's grace. And it was such a blessing there, because before the 10th class exams, Swami gives darshan to all the students who are going to take the public exams. And then that was the first time that I was so near to Swami. Until then, I didn't even see Swami. for those many years. And Swami gave us the darshan, and then he blessed us all. We went and wrote the exams, and it was all history, after that. Then, then I was thinking if I should go to Anantapur to do my intermediate. For some reason, I was not ready for that. So I went to Hyderabad to do my intermediate, and then for degree, something entered in me saying that no, I have to go to Anantapur. And I think some of my classmates might be here, on the call today. And I joined Anantapur in 1985. And then I fell in love with the subject philosophy. So then I said, I am going to do this, through and through. And same thing happened, and I went back for MA philosophy. And here is where I want to talk about the in detail. I want to talk about our interview that Swami gave to the outgoing students. And of course, before that, one little thing, like in our final year degree, Swami opened the new hostel and new college. I think they are still being called as new hostel and new college. So I heard from the recent graduates. And so during that year, Swami came to Anantapur 3 times, and that was such a blessing again for all of us, in the final year. So we were able to enjoy and then his proximity at Anantapur, and then his guidance all the time to all the outgoing students. So that was really wonderful. And so going to my MA final year, and then we prayed to Swami, please give us an interview for the outgoing students. And Swami, we went there during the Shivaratri time. We are there, and so we wanted to ask Swami. And so Jayama madam allowed us to request Swami for the interview. So Swami said yes. Come. He gave time next Sunday or something, the following Sunday, and so we all were getting ready. And so then what happened was, in preparation for that, we started having meetings back in, I think, January, end of January or something. And so all the students decided that we would gift Swami with a pair of slippers. And somebody had a great idea. Swami goes to Ooty and Kodaikanal. It's really cold over there. So why not we give him something that will help him with the cold when he wears them. So we all thought that was a very great idea. And so we started working towards that. And now, being a Telugu speaking girl in the MA senior, and they said, everybody said, Akka, you go because you can speak in Telugu to the town, and then you are also allowed to go to town. So why not we, we'll go meet a cobbler and then take help from him. And see, that's when, Swami really, he just needs our devotion, our 100% over there. And when we say that we are going to do something for him or anywhere, if we put our 100%, he is our friend, right? Pran Sakha. So he helps us through and through, and then he will see us to be successful. So then we went there. We didn't know where to go, what to do, nothing. And so, but only thing is, we need to get this done for Swami. When he calls us to Puttaparthi to give us an interview, we need this, be ready. And so we went, and then we were looking, and there was a cobbler sitting on the side of the road, and he was a Muslim guy. And then we approached him. Then we asked him, we need to prepare something like this for Swami, Sathya Sai Baba. Do you know him? Then he said, yes, I heard about him, and he has, I heard that he does lot of, he saves a lot of people, and he cures a lot of people. I heard about that. And so we told him that we need to make these 2 slippers for him and pair of slippers. And he said, okay, I can help. And then he gave us the directions, like what to do and things like that. We took that information, went back to the hostel, and then next day when we had the meeting, we presented it to the whole all the group of girls. And once we presented, they all thought that it would be a good idea to have. So he suggested to put rabbit skin or something like that. But we all thought it's not a good thing to give Swami killing an animal, because that's not what he teaches us. It is totally himsa. So he teaches us ahimsa, like non-violence, even at the mental level. So how can we do this? So we said, no, that's not going to work. So we went back and told him that won't work. So what other substitute material that you are going to suggest? And then so he suggested satin cloth. We thought that was a brilliant idea. And I wish I could show the photo to you all today, but we got that done. And then we somehow thought that Swami's foot size would be 5. So the slipper also would be 5. And we made that. And then the top of the hold, that is there on top of the foot that holds the foot, we made that with wool, and everybody had a chance to rough it up and then make it really fluffy. It came out so beautifully with his direction totally. And all that got ready, and then we all prepared a music program for him, like 15-minute or something. And then we took all that to him, and then he was so happy to see the slippers. And then he took the slippers and he exactly said the same thing that we thought, that, oh, I can wear it in Kodaikanal when I go there. And that was his beautiful gesture that he made us so happy that day. And most of all, here I want to pass on a couple of messages that he had given us that day. First thing that he told us was, you are girls, you are going out, and many of you are going to get married, and you are going to go into in-laws house, and they are going to look at you, that they will say that you are my students. And when you are my students, there is certain measure that you have to live up to. When you are my student, you cannot be disrespectful to any elders or your in-laws or anybody. And most of all, when you go out into the public, you cannot laugh loudly. You have to just smile, and you cannot speak loudly. Probably many of you might have heard it, like those who had the chance of attending his interview to the outgoing students. I think he probably gave the same advice to everybody. So those were like a mother giving to his children when the children are leaving the house, going to in-laws. That was the love that he showed us. And he said, my blessings are always with you. And few others that I may not be remembering the whole thing that he gave us that day. And he gave us Vibhuti and then gave us Pad Namaskar. So when Swami was giving Pad Namaskar, I asked him, Swami, can I do PhD in philosophy? And then he said, Santosham Bangaru. But before that, when I asked Swami, I want to do something else, then he said, wait, wait. So immediately I knew that I was up for the PhD, and that's how I ended up in University of Hyderabad to do PhD. And that whole University of Hyderabad is another chapter in my life where I had a chance to practice what we have learned in Anantapur for 5 years. Before that, 85 to 90, whatever Swami taught us, whatever Jayamma madam taught us, our Pushpa madam taught us, our principal madam taught us there, I had a chance to practice all that and put that into, so it became whatever his teachings, my life became his teachings or his message at that point. So, for example, when I went to University of Hyderabad, many people knew that I was coming from the Institute of Swami, and expectations were very high. And of course, they were very critical about that. some of them even came in front of my face and then said things about Swami, which made me even more because in my childhood, my mother taught me not to argue with anybody about Swami. She told me that Swami will take care of his own name. You don't have to defend it, you don't have to argue with it. You live the life, then they will understand what Swami is. And lo and behold, I remembered that and I never argued with those because those all were my seniors in Hyderabad, in the department, and they were most of them were communists. So I said, no problem. And then I asked them one simple question. Have you ever been to Puttaparthi? Have you ever experienced being in Puttaparthi and being in his presence? They said, no, we have not been. Then that means you are basing everything, all your criticism based on the press, like whatever the newspapers are giving out. At that time, only newspapers, many people used to read that, or some other magazines. You are basing everything on that and you are criticizing him. So, being a philosophy student, that's not logical, right? Unless you experience in any type of media, you cannot criticize Swami. And I left it there. I didn't talk more about that. And they kind of realized the logic behind it. And then they stopped criticizing Swami in front of me. But they used to test me all the time. But Swami, being Swami, Pran Sakha, and he is our friend and he is our everything, he made, he accommodated bhajans on the campus. It was such a wonderful experience for the devotees that were students over there. We had so many others, and those who came from either Anantapur or from Brindavan or Prashanti Nilayam campus, they were juniors. They used to come to me, Akka, we know that you are here. We heard that you are here. So we all used to go for the bhajans. And this person was an operator in our computer lab, and both husband and wife were devotees, younger couple, and they used to sing so beautifully, and they accommodated us, and so we used to go attend the bhajans on Thursday evenings. So it was such a beautiful experience, and moreover, the campus in front of university was Indian Immunological Campus, and I don't know if that sister is here, Anuradha. She was my roommate in my degree, and her parents lived on the campus, like Indian Immunologicals. Her father worked there, and so they used to have bhajans over there. So we were able to go there, and it was just a walking distance. So we were able to go there and participate in the bhajans, and also they used to do a lot of service activities, and so we were able to take part in those service activities. So Swami somehow accommodated all that for us on the university campus, which was like very, very, until then, that chance was not there. And I think it is us, who need to take one step. And Swami promised, I'll take 100 steps towards you. I think that's what he made, he did actually. And the other example that I wanted to give, like how Swami comes to our rescue, is when I was finishing my MPhil, the printing of the dissertation became such a big hassle for me. Like it almost put 1 week behind the schedule, put me 1 week behind schedule, and I was getting really afraid. And I was praying to Swami, please, I need this to be done within such and such date, and it's not happening. So what can I do? And Swami sends somebody who is able to help me. And when we get into the bus and when we go out the campus, the first thing that I see on a big rock was, God loves you. Somebody wrote it. It's a saying from a Bible, but at that time, I knew that my work was going to be done and Swami would take care of that. So when we have the correct mental setup, And when we pray to him, when we connect with him through the right that frequency, then he talks to us and he gives us the messages. Many of you might have experienced. I don't think it is new to anybody. It's just a reminder to all of us, that's why I'm saying it here. Many of you must have experienced that love and that message from Swami and that help from Swami. And lo and behold, my dissertation, I was able to print that day and get it bound and was able to submit next day. So all that was Swami's grace, totally. And he was a true friend, and he is still a true friend. And PhD also same thing. I had some hurdles, but then everything I was able to overcome all those and was able to finish. And it is totally his. And then the first dissertation, the copy, I took it to Swami and he blessed it, and that was it. So everything after that went so easily for me. So as a gratitude to all whatever he did for us, when I moved to the US with family, my husband, we used to live in Jamaica, and there also Swami has such beautiful centers in Caribbean, such loving devotees there. He is everywhere, right? All over the world. Wherever you go, you just have to look for Swami's center, and it is there, and you are connected to the devotees just by saying Sai Ram, quickly, like instantaneously, they become your Atma Bandhu. They become our relatives just by soul, and the soul is Swami, right? And so when we moved here, luckily my husband also became a devotee, again through his grace, like in 94, before our wedding. So that made my life very easy. I know that not everybody has that fortunate thing happening, because some of our spouses may not be devotees. They might become devotees after they see us, or they might, and in my case, Swami made him a devotee before our wedding itself. So I didn't have any problem. I didn't have to work on that at all. And our whole goal here was to show our gratitude by working, by doing service to him, by connecting to the local centers, Sai centers, and doing work, doing service. Service is our utmost goal here, because Swami says an eagle has two wings, and same way his organization has two wings. One is the devotion, singing bhajans and doing namasmarana and all that. The other wing is service. Swami himself showed how service is very, very important, and he always said, the hands that help are more sacred than the lips that sing his name. So that is, we always follow that, and service is our most. And then I'm always grateful for that, for the opportunity that Swami gives us. Wherever we move, there is Sai Center, and they are doing wonderful service activities, and we can easily become part of that. So, and one fun thing that I wanted to share is like how Swami responds. So going back a little bit, my mother, they were in Puttaparthi, right? My father became the headmaster, and we moved to Puttaparthi. And initially, Swami gave us um, quarters, and then after that it didn't become possible, so they had to go outside and then live for some time. They were being moved from South Prashanti to East Prashanti, East to West, like that. So my mother was not very settled with that idea, and so she used to ask Swami every day. She used to come back and then sit in front of his photo and ask Swami, we need permanent accommodation. Swami, we cannot keep moving like this. So that went on almost for 6 months or something. And one day when she came back from the darshan and bhajan, she started again, and then she saw Swami's photo, the hair, Swami's hair, full of water. She didn't understand why. Then it occurred to her saying that Swami is tired of my begging him for accommodation, and so Swami is indicating that, oh, please stop, I cannot take this anymore. So I'm going to give you something. And then after that, of course, they were able to buy something outside with his permission and then move into that accommodation. So how Swami indicates, so we just have to be connected with him. And that is my point here, today. That is my goal. And I want to touch upon little things that, yes, 2011 was an unfortunate year for us. We lost him physically, but Swami entered the whole universe. We are able to see him everywhere now. Only thing that we need to do is, like I was saying earlier, we need to connect. We need to connect to that frequency, and you are able to see him everywhere. And now it becomes being his daughters, as we call ourselves. It is our duty now to spread that love, to spread his message. And we don't have to go and give lectures or anything anywhere, but it is just we have to follow what he taught us. We have to live that message. We have to live the love he taught us. We have to live the service that he gave us, he showed us. And we have to live all the teachings that he gave us. So, in any way possible, if you are able to go and work for any Sai center that you have locally, we need to do that. So once we go and do it as his students and as his daughters, that gives good support to the center members also. I'm not sure if you have realized that, especially in America, when the students come, when the students of Swami, no matter who it is, boys or girls, the center members feel so energized here because they know that we have experienced his presence, we have experienced him and his love directly. So they become so happy to see us. They get so energized, and then they get so, and they want our input. So please go and involve yourselves in center activities. That is the way to show our gratitude to him, give back to him, not only to our institute, but even to the Sai Center, so we can reach more people locally wherever we are and spread the love. The whole thing that Swami is help ever, hurt never, which is the service. Love all, serve all. Again, that is also a service that we can do. So that is what we are. I'm not there yet. I'm just telling you because it is telling myself now, reliving this message is telling myself, refreshing my memory and refreshing myself, with all this, that, and reminding myself. So that's the reason why I'm telling you. I'm not just telling you, I'm telling myself as well at the same time. So please, if you are already doing that wonderful thing, Swami's blessings are always on you, and no more can we do that. And then our children definitely learn from that. They are like sponges. They learn from that, and they follow the same path. In between, they may go here and there, but they will definitely have that foundation of how their parents are practicing these love and service. They will definitely follow that. So that is one message that I wanted to pass. And then coming here, so last year, like Sister mentioned, we were in Tampa, Florida, having our full life over there, and we lived there for 22 years. And suddenly something inside us, me and my husband, it told us it is time to leave Tampa. It is time to leave Tampa. So we both prayed to Swami. Swami, we don't know where you are going to take us. We didn't have any location or anything like that on mind. And we just prayed to him and put our house for sale. and it got sold. Now we had to think where we should go. And so we prayed to Swami and made a list of places. And Swami showed us Indianapolis. This place has students and such beautiful Sai center. I think that's why Swami sent us here. And they just took us in their arms, and they invited us into their center with open arms. And we are here right now, and it's such wonderful. And you might know Sharmila, she is from here. And um, so Swami guides us if we just open our mind and hands to Him. He just guides us to Him. And the other experience, I thought that I wouldn't have time, so that's why I didn't touch upon this. Um, when we were finishing our final year degree, Swami again gives interview then, right? That was such a nice experience for all of us that were there. And we wanted to ask Swami to give us, and then so we went and requested Swami. But that year there was some work going on in Prashantanilam. It didn't become Sai Kulwanthal yet, but they were doing some work over there. I think they were doing the cement in the now the Sai Kulwanthal. And so before that, there used to be only sandy grounds, right? So they were putting cement on that. And so that's why I think Swami was in Whitefield, if I remember well. So we were praying, we were doing bhajans, and all the hostel, they were helping us with that prayer. But then we were not sure if Swami would call us to Whitefield because of the boys' college over there. So we were praying, but we were praying very, very hard. Swami, please let us have the interview, because we don't know if we'll have that chance again once we leave, because some of them were not going to come back for doing their post graduation or B.Ed or anything like that. So they were praying so well. We were praying so well, and we were sending our prayers to Swami, and Swami calls us and he tells us to come to Whitefield. So we all quickly get ready, and next day morning we go to the railway station, take the train, and then go there. And then there was a bus waiting for us. We were all in bliss, and we were still, praying, because Swami tests us until the last moment. All of you might have experienced that, when you were in Anantapur, when you were in Puttaparthi. So he will see, are we slacking anywhere in devotion? And he sees that, So that's why we cannot take any time, not even a second. We have to pray all the time. And prayer was the great tool for us to get his attention, right? And so we all went to Bangalore, and bus came and picked us up and took us to the Whitefield. And we were given accommodation. They told us, yeah, go take rest and all that, and then get ready, come for darshan in the evening. And so we went for the darshan, and Swami told us, oh, you all came. Oh, good, good. And then santosham, he said, and then he walked away. And then we all said, Swami, interview, please. And then Swami said, wait. So we said, oh my God. Then luckily he told Jayama madam that next day morning, we had to go sit in the Sai Ramesh Hall, I think that was called. So we went and sat over there. But then Swami said, I have a wedding to perform, so I'm going to come after the wedding. So all of you go have breakfast and come. So we all went and then had breakfast, came and sat in the Sai Ramesh Hall. And Swami came. That was such beautiful interview, which we thought as a batch, we might not have that chance because Swami was in Whitefield. So Swami literally made us so happy that day that we knew that we were worthy of his love. And Swami blessed us all and gave us vibhuti. And then he told us, I'm very happy. Go and write your exams, and I'm blessing you. So he gave us that interview. So what again I wanted to reiterate here is that he will answer to our prayers. We bind him with our prayers to him. He cannot go anywhere else. If we pray to him sincerely, he will come and stand in front of us, next to us, and he will help us in whatever is good for us. So that is the strongest conviction that I have. There is no doubt at all in my mind that anytime we have some problem, it can be a big problem, it can be a very small problem, you just have to pray to us sincerely. He will take care of that. He will definitely take care of that. So have that conviction, have that faith and trust. And I am really scared to use the word surrender because he will send me a immediate test, for that. But I am going to use the word surrender to him. He will do whatever we need. So, and do I have more time, sister Ramamani or Sayaka, Sayarunaka, Sairam? More? Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, Sairam. Sairam. And here I have to talk about how, yeah, if we had time, I wanted to talk about how Swami um, helped me come to America. So that was totally his grace. So after wedding, I took permission from Swami, went to Jamaica because that's where my husband and my in-laws lived at that time. So I went to Jamaica, and in Jamaica, I had the opportunity to work with the local students. I was a teacher briefly, like for a few months, about 8 months or something. And so I used to teach them classical dance as a side, they had a extracurricular activity. So I was able to teach them that. And they all enjoyed and we had fun. It was all Jamaicans, and then it was very difficult for me to understand their culture initially. But again, I was reminding myself about Swami's concept of love. So if we have love, then any being will react to that immediately and very positively. So that I put that into practice. And of course, we had a great Sathya Sai center there. So we were part of that. And then what happened, come 1997, my husband came to US because my parents-in-law said, no, let's wrap up everything in Jamaica. Let's move to, you guys move to America and we'll go back to India. So they wanted to go back to India. So my husband said, okay. And then he came, that is also purely Swami's grace. He came to the US and then he got a job and then got H1 visa at that point. And so I was supposed to come to US after he sent me the H4 documents. So what happened was the previous year, my mother-in-law asked me to go and then get my visa in Jamaica, but I got rejected to come to US. So I had that rejected stamp in my passport. So now people who knew how the consulate there worked in Jamaica, they said, oh, you already have a rejected stamp, then it's going to be difficult for you to go to America right now, even if your husband is there. So you may have to go back to India and then you have to go to America, all sorts of things like, everybody was advising. So only thing, me and my mother-in-law, we prayed to Swami, Swami, it is your wish. If you need me to go back to India, that's fine. I can see my parents, I can see you, and then go to America. So that was my workaround, So then we said, if you are sending me directly to America, that's fine. So what happened was my husband sent the H4 documents and we took that and both we prayed And then the interview date was set for at the American consulate in Jamaica, in Kingston. So the previous day, my father-in-law said, "Let's go for a trial ride because you have to go early in the morning, and we'll see where it is, what to do, and things like that." We said okay, and so he took me and my mother-in-law, both of us, three of us, went there to the consulate, and it was really funny when we went to find out at one. There was one American lady sitting at it. It was a cash counter, basically. It was a payment counter. She was sitting there, and we were asking her that, we told her that we had an appointment for the following day, and what should we do? And so she said, "Oh, you have it tomorrow? No problem. You can pay the fee now." And so she collected $151 or something, for the visa fee. She already collected that, and then she gave us the receipt. So my father-in-law said, "Oh, maybe they changed the process because I thought that they would do this after they approve our visa." So we paid, and then we came out, and then next day I went for the interview. Um, so it was funny that I prayed, and I was actually praying, doing Sai Gayatri. Sai Gayatri is a very powerful tool. Don't take it lightly, okay? Very, very powerful. And Swami has proven that to me multiple times. So I was praying while going to the consulate, "Swami, it's your wish, but please give me the strength and courage to go and do all that. Whatever happens, it's your wish." And so I went there. It was very funny. The security guard comes to me directly, and then he says, "Oh, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. Madam, I'll take you upstairs, and then your place is upstairs." So I was kind of confused, because everybody who went there, they were waiting downstairs. The waiting room is there, and chairs were there, and they were waiting. This person takes me directly to upstairs. So I went up and sat in a thing, and then I thanked this security guard, and he said that you sit in this chair, and any window that opens up, they will call you, and then you go and show your documents. I said, "Okay, thank you so much." And then he went down. And then what happened? One window was empty, and that person called me. Gentleman called me, and then so I went there and showed, and he just looked at my passport immediately. "Oh yeah, you were rejected within 6 months, so you are not going to be able to go." And he was going to put the stamp rejected. Before that, I said, "Sir, please wait. I'm not going on visitor visa or anything like that. My husband is there, and H4 documents are there. Please." Then he started putting the stamp, and then he said, "I don't know, you go to the next window." So I went to the next window, and while I was sitting in the chair waiting for these windows to be vacant, that lady was right and she back and right. She was rejecting everybody, whoever went to that. I said, "Oh my God, Swami, he's sending me to that window. I'm sure something is going to happen." And when I went there, that lady looked at, and he told her that she has H4 documents. So she looked at the documents, and then she looked at where I studied, all my education and all that. And then she asked me, "If your husband is from Jamaica and if you are from India, how did you both get married?" So I could sing the Leela of Swami, because Swami was the one who performed our wedding. So he was the one who arranged it. When my father went with the thing, he blessed, and then he asked my father to do the wedding in Puttaparthi. So little bit of digression over there. And Swami guided my father, because my mother-in-law wanted our wedding to be in Puttaparthi. So my father went and requested Swami where, and so Swami guided him to perform our wedding at his birthplace. You all know there is now a temple, Lord Shiva temple over there where Swami was born. The exact place where Swami was born, there is a Shiva temple over there. Many of you might know that. And Swami told my father to perform the wedding over there. And so our wedding happened over there. And then Swami told us to come to Whitefield because he was going to leave for Whitefield. And he told my father to bring the whole the marriage party there so he could bless us. So that's how, all that story I had to tell her that, this is how we believe that he is God, he is our guru. So he was the one who arranged, and my husband's side also believes in him, and we believe in him. So he arranged. So I was talking to the consulate agent about Swami there. So I was able to sing his Leela there, right? And then she said, "Oh, that's how you got married. It's an arranged marriage." I said, "Yes, and arranged by God, our guru, And then she said, "Okay." And then immediately she approved. And before that, I told her, "See, yesterday when we visited this place, that lady asked us to pay the fee. And so I already paid the $151 for the visa." Then she said, "Oh, how did she take that from you without getting approved?" Like she had a question. I said, "I don't know. Here is the receipt as a proof." So she saw the receipt. Then she said, "Okay, I'm going to approve." And so she approved my visa to come to America at that point. So that is also Swami's grace. And then another experience that I fondly remember is when I was going to Jamaica for the first time, Kingston. So before going there, I wanted to take Swami's permission and blessings. And so we went to Whitefield. Swami was in Whitefield because it was May and the summer. He always was in Whitefield or Kodaikanal at that time. So I went there and then sat, and then Swami came to me. And Swami looked at me. Then so I said, "Swami, Parnamskar, I'm going to my husband's place." And then it was funny that instead of saying Jamaica, I told him America. So Swami said, "Santosham, Santosham," and he gave me Parnamskar. And then of course I left for Jamaica. Then I was thinking after coming out, why did I say America? Swami knows the whole world, right? And Swami knows that I was going to go to Jamaica, but why did I say America? Then it struck me when I got the visa in Kingston that day that, oh, this is why, because within a year or 14 months, I was going to move to America from Jamaica. So that's why Swami said Santosham, Santosham. And he gave me permission to leave. And that always makes sense, right? For us, after the fact, we realize that, oh, Swami meant this and Swami did this because of that, and things like that. And many of you, I think, are able to relate to that as well. So we realize that after the fact. So that is one beautiful experience. So what happened? I came to Hyderabad, got ready, and I was leaving for Jamaica. So it was by British Airways. So naturally, from Hyderabad, we went to Mumbai, and from Mumbai, it was to London, and from London to Kingston. That was my route. And so I didn't fly until then. So imagine, first time I was getting onto a flight, I was almost like a villager at that point, right? And getting onto a flight, except I could read English. That was the only difference. And going by flight and totally outside the country. So what happened? My brother came to see me off in Mumbai, and just before going inside the airport, he gave me a pen with Swami's photo on that. Okay, so I took that, put it in my purse, and then I went and. So I went to London there, and there we had to change the Heathrow to Gatwick. I think I had to change the flight. So I had to change the airport itself. So my husband sent all the directions, but I didn't know anything. I was like, what they call a deer in headlights or something, right? I didn't know anything. I was so dazed. Then I said, "Swami, please help me." So I go there in Heathrow, and we had to fill something there, a form at that time, those days. So I was filling the form. So to fill the form, the pen that my brother gave with Swami's photo, I took it out. And there was this Sardarji who was helping everybody. If they had any questions, he was helping there. And he comes to me immediately, and then he looks at Swami's photo there on the pen, and then he starts talking about Swami. So there you go, like Swami was everywhere, right? Swami is everywhere. And so I was talking to him, yeah, here. And then he helped me so much. And then he said, I want to go to Puttaparthi, but I'm not able to go and have Swami's darshan. So I told him, please go. My parents are there. They will help you, all that, And then he helped me. And then he said, I'll put you in the bus that takes you to the other airport. And then so while going, I said, please keep this pen with you because Swami is with you always. And I had some vibhuti packet also. I gave him along with the pen. I gave him the vibhuti packet, and that person was so happy. I thought maybe Swami came in that form, of Sardarji just to help me. That was the feeling I got, even though I gave him Swami's pen and vibhuti. Later, I thought it was Swami who was helping me there. And then the whole journey was so easy after that. I didn't have any problems. So, bottom line, what I am trying to say is we just have to believe. We just have to believe. And He is there as our dearest friend, as our dearest mother or father. He is there to guide us and love us. And through our body, through ourselves, Swami shares love to everybody that is around us. That is the message that I would like to share with all of you. I think I have prepared enough, and for now, I am not able to remember anything else except one little thing small thing, because we still have 3 more minutes. So, going back to my university life, what happened, like I mentioned before, my seniors were, some of them were from the Communist Party, right? So one person like that, he was a local from Telangana, and his heart was really good, very service oriented, but he criticizes Swami so much. So what happened was, in August, we have the Independence Day. And during that time, what happened was there was a long weekend. So August 15th came, and then something happened on Saturday and then Sunday. So 3 days, people were not going to be there on the campus. But he suddenly needed negative group blood. So O negative. A blood he wanted. And because his sister was very serious, and I think she was pregnant, so she had some problems in the delivery, so she lost a lot of blood, and so they were asking for O negative blood. And so the campus was almost empty. We had a database, but then only 4 people were O negative because it's not very common, right? And out of those 4, 3 were not on the campus, and 1 person was a lady. She could not donate that day. So 4 were out, and then so he calls my other senior and tells, can you find if there is anybody who can? And I happened to be there on the campus, and then I told them, no, let me contact this uncle on Indian Immunologicals. Remember, we used to go for bhajans and then service. So I called that uncle, and then his son picks up the phone, Anuradha's brother. He picks up the phone, and then he says, Akka, daddy is not home, but I can help. So he opens the database, their center database, and he looks up the O negative blood. Then he says, Akka, I found 3 or 4 uncles, but one uncle is available, but he is working today. So let me find out if he is able to go and then donate. So I said, fine. So I was waiting for his phone. And so immediately within 2 minutes, he calls me back and says, Akka, uncle will be able to go to the city and donate the blood. Only thing that he needs is a ride to the city, to the hospital, wherever. So then I call this senior of mine and then tell him that, there is a person on the campus, like Indian Immunologicals campus, but only thing is you have to go pick him up. So then he says, yes, I can pick him up because I am here, and I will pick him up on the bike and then bring him and then drop him back. So I said, okay. And then I gave all the details. And then this communist person, very staunch communist who did not believe in God at all, and he criticized Swami like anything, until then. So he goes and then picks up that uncle, takes him to the hospital. How much ever blood they needed, this uncle gives, and then he brings back uncle, drops him at his workplace, comes to our hostel, and then calls me, and then he was in tears. Literally, he was in tears. He said, I have never seen any organization or any individual person being so kind and so humble and so loving at the same time when he was doing a favor to somebody. He was so touched by that. And then he mentioned that now I know what Sai organization is and how he maintains his organization and what his teachings are. So that one instance changed this staunch communist who did not believe in God, changed his idea of what Swami was. So that was such a beautiful and memorable incident that I can remember from those years. So, yeah, so we just have to live his message. That's all there is. And hope my time is up. Sairam.
Sairam, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, please.
10 more minutes? Okay.
Yes.
I have
Please
to think
narrate
of
one more experience, please.
one more experience. So, yes. So, when we were in Jamaica, this one is also very, very dear to us, me and my husband. So, when we were in Jamaica, we both went to, there is place called Negril. It's a all beach, right? It's an island. Jamaica is an island. So we went there. We spent the time over there, and on the way back, we stopped at. There is actually a center in Ochorios. Some of you might know this place. There is a Duns River Falls over there. That is what it is famous for, and there is a big center over there. So a devotee has the whole. He built it, and it's a big hall, and they have rooms next to that, and then they do regular services over there, like bhajans and other service activities they do. And so we stopped there. And then we were coming, so we got vibhuti from them. And then on the way back, we also stopped at another place. It was such a beautiful journey, while coming back. And so at one point, what happens, because it is Jamaica is full of hills. And of course, ocean, there is that Caribbean Ocean is there surrounding the whole country. And so we were coming on the thing, and then this is on the hill we were coming, and then the path, suddenly turns like this, the road. And it was a little bit hazy there, and so we could not see. So my husband was driving the car, and then we were going straight, like he was going straight. Instead of turning, he didn't know that the road was curving there. And so we went straight, and then if you go a little more, then we would have fallen into the valley. And by the time he realized, because we were going at a good speed, and by the time he realized, the car was hanging in the air almost with one tire on the road, and rest of it was almost, into the valley. And we got so scared, and both of us started shouting, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, like, very, with so much of urge. Swami, please help us, And then it was so funny that without our effort, the car suddenly comes onto the road. Okay? And then we kind of took 2 minutes to breathe. And then we told Swami, thank you so much for saving us today. And then he said, okay, now I'm going to go really slow, because we were really shaken up. And so he's going really slow at like 10 or 20 miles per hour speed. And then what happens? we go after like a few miles, like in about 5 miles or something, we go down the hill, and the road is really narrow. It's just one lane to come this side, one lane to go, the because it's all hilly mountain thing, so they have roads like that. It's not a big highway or anything like that. And so suddenly what happens, the car starts spinning around at 10 miles speed or 20 miles speed. It starts going round and round and round. Then I was asking, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Then he says, no, I'm not doing anything. The car is just spinning around. And then again we start shouting, Swami, Sairam, Sairam, please help us. We don't know what was happening. We were just spinning around and then in the car, and then we were just screaming, Swami's name out. And suddenly it comes to a stop next to the road. Then we look at each other. Okay, what just happened? We didn't know what happened. We were going very slow, and there was no need to actually even skid because it didn't rain or anything like that. And so we looked at each other, and the people, like there were some shops around, on the hill, and they came and then looked at us if we were okay. They came and asked, what happened? What happened? Then we said, we don't know what happened. And then we looked around, and then they told us. Then we said, we don't know what happened. It just spun around, and then our God helped us to stop it. And then they told us, no, actually, there was a big accident down the road, and a lot of trucks and all that were stopped. So if you went there, then something would have happened. That's what they told us. So we knew what the intention of Swami for spinning us there. It was like, we would have been jammed by trucks or something like that. Within that spinning time, that accident happened. And Swami took care of us before we went to that area. He stopped us before that, and he saved us from that. So that was also and we were so shaken up, but then our hearts filled with so much of gratitude that day that, Swami, thank you so much for taking care of us in this trip, because we were basically going to the center, each center, and doing prayers with the center, bhajans, and then coming back. So he totally took care of us that day. So that is another great experience that we had with Swami. He helped us incognito, I should say. So he travels with us if we just take his name. Like I was saying, Om Sri Sai Ram, of course, he is the most powerful, but he always answered to me when I chanted Sai Gayatri. That is very, very powerful. He himself told us that many times. That is another experience. And just before closing, do we have 2 minutes? I'll quickly finish this. He came to Anantapur. Swami came to Anantapur, I think when I was in second year of degree or something. And okay, thank you, Akka. And so he was giving us, he was just sitting informal talk. Like we were in the bhajan hall. I don't know what bhajan hall now it is, but then we used to have it upstairs when we were there studying in Anantapur. So we were all sitting there, and Swami was talking, and suddenly he started talking about early hours of the day. This is a reminder to myself, because I'm now getting the urge to wake up really early and then do all that. I know that I'm a lazy person, so I stopped waking up really early, doing all that, recently, like after COVID or during that time. So I think it's a reminder for me that I'm being reminded of this informal talk that Swami gave us that day. And so he told us that early in the morning, it's called Brahma Muhurtam, right? So between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., that is the most powerful. And then he told us that that time is very powerful because the whole world is, at least wherever we are, it's asleep. And then no thoughts, no, nothing is going around that time, means at the humanly level is what I'm talking. So the the sages, the devatas, they are roaming around the world. So it becomes very powerful. And that's why it is called Brahma Muhurt. This is the thing that Swami talked. Okay, I'm not making up. And he told us, don't be awake until 12 o'clock or something to study. Sleep early, like by 10 o'clock, you sleep. After your prayer, night prayer is done, you sleep. Wake up very early morning and then study. Whatever you study at that time will stick to you, or whatever you do during those hours between 3 and 5 a.m., that will stick to you very well. And the power of that is multiplied. Power of that is multiplied. So if we are doing Omkaram, if we are doing any meditation, or any prayers that we are doing at that time, he said it is multiplied. So it's a reminder to myself that I have to start doing that again. Many years back, I used to wake up and then do all household works while chanting his name, but I have stopped doing that lately. I think I need to go back to that. Wake up at least by 4:30, and then do some kind of meditation. Is what is what I'm thinking, what I've been thinking lately. So I need to do that, and so maybe it is time for me to start that, and Swami will give me the energy and stamina to do that. So that is another thing that he told us, and he told, do that during that time, and you will gain a lot. So I was just reminded of that. And of course, he talked about many other things that day, which I may not be able to recollect now at this point. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Sai Arunakka and all other daughters of Sai, and then coming and then listening to me. Like I said, I'm not a great speaker. If I made any mistakes, please forgive me. Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Thank you so much.
Sairam Sarvakala sister, it was very nice hearing you, your journey from being a devotee to Swami by birth to realizing yourself how you felt Swami and your experiences. As you
Thank
actually
you.
said that one powerful word Sairam or Sai Gayatri is enough to move us from any of the situations out and even to get us a good family around even when we enter a new place. It was very relieving for us to listen to your experiences, and we thank you so much for being a part of this, and we are very happy to host you for the session. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Sairam.
Thank you so much, and nice to see many faces that I know. Yeah, Sai Ram, everybody. Sai Ram.
Sairam sister.
Have a nice weekend.